Hey there, fans of the Monday Movie Club, all three of you. I am Frank Gaffney. Today this week we watched one of Mark's selections, The Princess Bride, as you can see from his backdrop. From 1987, it's actually celebrating its 35th anniversary this very week. Wow. Here with me, as always, Joel Fenster. Nothing Princess Bride going on there. Mark
Take your glasses off and try again.
What am I looking at?
Funko Pops.
Oh, those are from I can't even tell. I saw a Avenger behind you, so very cute.
Nice.
Could have at least framed it with the DVD instead of the Avengers, whatever.
That involves more work.
Hi, Mark. Wotitz Gartner has a little picture up. Annie King
Yeah.
sitting in some room. What room are you in?
I'm on location in North Carolina.
Oh,
Wow.
okay.
Yeah.
In the hotel room.
No,
Somebody's
No.
house.
my house.
Oh, okay. She's rich. She's got a house in North Carolina. Amy
Yeah.
Goldman, Buttercup Goldman. You wish you were Buttercup.
Build us up, Buttercup.
I just do it to let you down.
Nah.
And mess us around. Sorry, now stop.
We're done. Mark, I don't even have to ask, but I will. Why The Princess Bride?
It is tied with Star Wars for my favorite movie of all time.
Of all time.
Of all
Wow.
time. And
Wow.
it came out just real quick. I'll just say that in 87, I was 12 when it came out. And, I'm a year older than Fred Savage, so I identified with the grandson. It's a fantasy. I've always been drawn to fantasies and sword and sorcery and pirates and monsters. So I was at the perfect age, and it was the perfect movie for me.
And when you said I'm 1 year older than Fred Savage, Cringer went, who? All right, so
No, I don't believe it either.
this one, it's also in my personal top 100 films of all time. I love this movie too. So here's the thing. Author William Goldman's modern fairy tale, directed by Rob Reiner, beautifully, strikes just the right balance of warm and silly, and is played with giddy delight by the pitch perfect cast. Sounds like I wrote that, didn't it? So Peter Falk reads the story of the Princess Bride to his grandson Fred Savage, who's in bed and sick. And of course he deflates every kissing part as a 11-year-old boy would. Cary Elwes is our dashing hero, and he is dashing. And he has to save Robin Wright, who's the princess of our title, from a trio of men: Wallace Shawn, so funny, Mandy Patinkin, hysterical, and Andre the Giant, who knew he was even an actor.
Anybody who had watched wrestling to that point?
Had watched what?
Anybody who had watched wrestling at that point would have known he was an actor.
Certainly. And so there's too much plot to explain, but it really is wonderfully inspired, and it's witty, and the swashbuckling is so much fun. And start the arguments right now. It's a Christmas movie. Grandpa brings a grandson a Christmas present. There's Santa on the wall in his room. It's obviously Christmas. So it's a Christmas story. And Billy Crystal and Carol Kane. I mean, I just a little bit of me at the time when it came out was like, oh, with the Billy Crystal. But now it's like, oh my God, they practically steal the movie, these two. They're so funny. I'm sorry.
There's a drink.
I had an everything bagel for breakfast.
Drink your whiskey, Shelby.
Poppy seed. A poppy seed must be stuck. Okay, definitely there are better films than this one that have been made, obviously. But as far as watching one over and over again, this one is right up there for me. Well, I choked to death. It's charming, and it's enchanting, and it's silly, and it's funny. And show it to your kids. Everybody should show it to your kids. And could there be a person anywhere who doesn't love this movie? Inconceivable.
Mm-mm.
I just and it was so funny when Manny Patinkin says, "I don't think you know the meaning of that word." Obviously, he does. He uses it correctly.
Yeah, that always bothered me.
I'm like, yeah, no, that's inconceivable. And I dare you not to think of Farquaad from Shrek when you see Chris Sarandon as Prince Humperdinck, because that's exactly where I don't know if he
Yeah.
stole it or they stole it or whatever. It's exactly that character.
Well, obviously, since Shrek the movie came after this, you
Yeah,
know,
but wasn't Shrek a
yeah, but
graphic
it's
novel or
it's a
something?
very different thing.
Was
Oh, I
it?
didn't know
Wow.
that.
Yeah.
So then they did steal it from
Yes.
Chris Sarandon, who everybody is perfect. It's such a great movie. I read somewhere that Disney's making a musical version. Oh, come on! Don't mess with the perfection that
They've been working. There's been work being done on a musical version pretty much since the movie came out. William Goldman was involved with a version before he died that never got off the ground. So since it's now a Disney property, yay!
Then we'll definitely see a musical
Yeah.
version.
Oh
of it.
yeah.
All right, so
Barry
I'm giving.
Hatrick is rolling over in his grave.
He died. Barry Hatcher died.
Oh.
All right, so I'm definitely giving it 4 stars out of 4. It's a terrific movie. I love it. And after last week's movie, thank God. All right, so Annie, do you love this movie? Have you seen it already?
Yeah, I've seen it many, many, many times. It's a
Is it a
remote
remote?
dropper.
Yep, I
And
agree.
I it's just, it's got everything. It's got the humor and the fighting and everything. So, and I made my kids watch it. I'm like, this is a great movie. When they were young, I had to make them watch it. It was funny. I was in downtown Asheville
Mhm.
yesterday and walking around, went into one of these little fun stores, and they had a basket of Princess Bride pins. And Danny was like, "Oh, too bad it's tomorrow because you could have sent them all pins
How
before the meeting."
funny.
It was
Why
so
aren't
funny.
you wearing one right now?
Oh, they didn't have the one I wanted.
Oh, wow.
Yes. I
Which-
wanted the one that said inconceivable, but they were sold out of that. They
Right.
did have the one that said, and dream of large women. That I had that on my notes. That was a funny one. The one question I had, like when Humperdinck smelled the thing and he said, iocane, it's like, but it's supposed to be odorless. How would he know?
That's the
Because
joke.
that's how strong his nose is.
Okay.
That's the joke.
Yeah.
So much of it is like that kind of silliness.
Yeah.
Like
It was great.
when Andre the Giant leaves him in the hallway and somehow he gets to her bedroom when he's too weak. I mean,
Right.
it just happened.
Yeah.
It's like a comic book. You accept it.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I love Fred Savage, where he's like, is this a kissing book? Or, I think everything just works so well with it. It really does. And it's just fun. And my daughter had said, "Oh, is this one of your picks, Mom?" And I said, "No, luckily it was Mark's, and it saved me one more pick."
Because you would have picked it.
Yeah, this is
I
definitely
think-
in
I
my
think
top
we-
10.
I think we all would have picked it. So are you giving it 4 stars, I mean?
4 stars. Yeah.
Absolutely. The yeah. I mean, and it's so tough with a movie like this to really get the tone right. And that's the thing. That's
Yes.
why this movie really is so charming and wonderful, because it gets the tone right. And so often directors can't. And Rob Reiner does a beautiful job. Right, Amy Buttercup?
That's right. In one of the trivia things I was reading, and I just read all the trivia just a year ago. I'm sure you all remember when they recreated this entire movie. The entire original cast did it on Zoom. And of course, the line, "everyone in the future will be wearing masks," was a huge joke in the middle of
my
the
gosh.
pandemic.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I had read a lot of the trivia, and Frank, what did you just ask me? Where was I going with this?
Wow.
Oh my God. I need some more caffeine. Hang on. That was bad. Anyway, I don't know where I was going. I do love the movie, and I saw it in '87. I saw it many times after that.
Right?
And then
I was working at Fox in '87, so I
you
was
were,
all
yeah,
there. Yeah.
yeah. I hadn't seen it for years and years until last year, and I was like, oh my God, I just watched this movie, but I still love it. It's such a fun movie. It's so well written. I loved Mandy Patinkin. I loved him since Evita, so I thought he was brilliant in this. And I love that it's still his favorite movie, and he loves when people come up to him and do the whole Indio Montoya line to him. I thought Fred Savage, this is why he got cast in the Wonder Years. He was so good. He wasn't, no line was fake or said like a child actor. And Peter Falk was so good. The only reason I wouldn't give this 4 stars, I'm sorry, is because I don't know that I need to now see it again. I don't think I would drop the remote on it again. And there were things I hated from day one, and I hated them yesterday. I hated Andre the Giant, and I hated the mileage. I hate that. Hate. And I understand that William Goldman did it because he had a rabbi back in Chicago or Milwaukee or wherever that had a speech impediment. So I hated those two things. And I also hated sometimes a joke would just not stop, like when Carrie Elwes couldn't move. It was like enough, right? We got a half hour of him being like this. It just got too much for me. Other than that, I fucking love the movie. And I love the humor. I think it's such a great script. When Christopher Guest is confronted by Mandy Patinkin in the hallway, and you pause on him for like 2 seconds, and then he just runs away. To me, that was just brilliant writing. So I'm gonna give it 3 3/4. I think I didn't really write any other notes. No.
Joel, do you love this movie too?
I love this movie too. It's funny, we talk about, showing movies to our kids, and this would be a great one to show them. And as a film freak by nature, I was graced with 2 children that are a little ambivalent when it comes to movies at times. So I've tried.
You mean you were cursed with 2 children?
Yeah, I was trying to not go that way with it, but when Malcolm heard that, our oldest heard that we were watching that for this week, he was like, "Oh, I need to see that,"
Oh.
and then he proceeded to not watch it with us, which is how things operate around here, but I don't know what I could add to any of this. I'll take my job back for a moment, that Frank has been trying to take away from me, and say, this movie was added to the Criterion Collection the year after it came out in theaters, and that tells you how great a film it is in their book. That they were able to get the rights to a modern film so quickly. It was on Laserdisc. It's number 40 was The Spine, so that's early in the Criterion Collection.
Only 39 others.
Only 39 other movies at the time. It was just the movie itself, in a gatefold jacket with an essay. It was about 8 years later, they actually put out a true special edition with an audio commentary and a whole bunch of other things. But that even got a different number. It was 320.
All right, I heard him say a gatefold jacket. I'm like, what's a gatefold
A
jacket?
gatefold jacket. You remember albums?
Gatefold.
Gatefold. You'd have 2 vinyl records and an album that would.
Yes,
It's gatefold.
I have gatefold jackets.
Well, I'm sure you do, but
Different thing.
and then it finally got re-added to the collection on Blu-ray with a completely different spine number a couple of years ago. So I love.
And are all the elements there that you can throw away your laser disc now?
Nope, not at all.
Oh, damn it.
The special edition Laserdisc has clips from a TV series that Christopher Guest worked on with Rob Reiner called Morton and Hayes, which ran for 6 episodes. Nobody remembers it but me. It was hysterically funny. And that's really, other than YouTube, that's the only place you can find it. So
How is it related to this movie?
it's not, other than the fact that it's got Christopher Guest and Rob Reiner for whatever.
Morton Hayes. Oh, and it was on CBS. I guess it was
was.
not during your boycott period.
It was not
1991.
Yep. Kevin Pollak and I forget the other guy's name.
Oh, that's funny.
They were
Well, it would be right up your alley because they played a comedy team, and every week they would show a comedy short from the 1930s that was found.
correct. Yes.
Who would watch that crap?
I
You.
would. I did.
Christopher Guest and Michael McKean.
And they were all together in This is Spinal Tap with Rob
Yeah.
Reiner.
Yes, of course, and
They're
that's
constantly working together.
and
That
that's
was
part of the reason Christopher Guest is here too.
Is interesting.
And who's the rabbi? Peter
Peter Cook.
Cook.
Cook,
Peter Cook.
another British.
But it was supposed to be, what's his name from Monty Python?
John Cleese.
Biggest Dickus. Joel, help me out.
Michael Palin.
Yes.
Michael Palin. What happened to Michael Palin?
He was filming something else. I think A Fish Called Wanda.
Oh,
Makes sense.
interesting.
Peter Cook was a brilliant comedian. He was mostly teamed with Dudley Moore for a long time. They had
Well, it doesn't matter because Amy hated him.
well, Amy has a thing against people with speech impediments. I think that's a problem.
Yeah, you should have that looked into.
Well,
I mean, in 1987, maybe it was funnier than it is now.
Yeah.
Politically correctism and all that.
no, it's still funny.
It
Because
is so funny.
it's so over the top ridiculous. It's
It's ridiculous.
not-
Exactly.
You enjoy.
I do.
Ah,
I always do. I found it interesting that last night we were flipping channels and I came across Throw Mama from the Train, which was just a couple of years later. And, it's Rob Reiner's in it, Billy Crystal's in it, Dana DeVito, who's originally they were hoping to get to play Vizzini was in it. So, these people work a lot.
that's all I remember from that movie.
What?
Owen!
Mark G,
um,
count all the ways you love this movie.
Wait, I don't think Joel's finished.
That was a
no,
4-star review. Come on.
I was gonna say, I don't think Joel started.
I'm giving it no fucking stars. Yes,
Joel, I don't think you said one thing actually about the movie, and
I
that
didn't- it's a
whole
great.
speech.
You said everything. There's
He
nothing.
said he
else
couldn't
to
add
say.
anything else. I took him at his
Yeah.
word.
Yeah, there was nothing else I could add other than stupid crap. It's a great
This
movie.
is very funny to me because the movie last week that we hated, we talked for 22 minutes. The movie we love, it's going to be 22 minutes.
Right.
Yeah, we are moving fast.
I'll add another piece of bullshit. Yes, it's a 4-star movie. The Funko needs to finish the fucking line. There's
Ah,
no Vizzini. There's no Count Rugen. There's no Prince Humperdinck. They can do a bazillion different Batman and Iron Man, but this is all
Well,
we get.
Joel, it's all
Yeah.
about commerce. They're not selling, so they're not making more.
Bullshit.
It's obviously not. It's
They are
obviously
selling. They just don't want to do it.
not. I disagree.
All right.
Mark G,
Well, I'll
count the
start by-
ways how much you love this movie.
Yeah, it's obviously 4 stars for me. As soon as it came on HBO, I taped it on a blank VHS tape,
Sure.
and then I bought the VHS, then the DVD special edition. I own the book, but I've never actually read it
Oh,
because I'm
I've read the
afraid
book. I thought the book was very good.
I'm afraid that I'm not going to like it, and it's going to
No,
ruin.
the book,
ruin-
it's almost exactly the same.
Okay. And if you're a real fan, I recommend As You Wish by Carrie Elwes. He wrote a behind the scenes kind of tell all
Oh.
about it. And it's fantastic if you really like it and you want to know what happened during filming. And he actually broke it when he was in this whole scene here, when he was on the rock. If you watch it carefully, you can see he's walking awkwardly because he broke his toe that week that he was filming that and
Yeah,
all that
that's
stuff.
in,
So
that's in the
funny.
trivia.
okay.
Yeah.
And this here, thanks to Mr. Gaffney,
Oh, yeah.
you gave me this on my 40th birthday. This was from the premiere.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
we did pins for a lot of movies.
Okay. Well, I have it now for this.
Forever.
Yes, forever. There's just, I mean, from opening to close, there are so many great lines in this movie, and
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. I'm going to say I've seen this 100 times, as much as Star Wars, both of them. The whole scene with Vizzini is, I mean, just right there, you're trying to take what I've rightfully stolen, never get involved in the land war in Asia, and then I live, don't never go in against a Sicilian when death is on the line because I'm married to one. So.
And death is always on the line.
Just the opening scene with the cough and the video game music, that's like etched in my brain forever.
Sure.
And it's just the ending of the movie too, As You Wish, the grandfather says. I mean, it's very
That's
touching.
right. It is. This is beautifully done. I'll talk about reading the trivia, how that when Billy Crystal was doing his scene, he would ad lib and come up with stuff. And Rob Reiner had to go to a different room because he couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah.
He was ruining every take.
Yeah.
That's the kind of fun comes right through every frame of this movie.
Agreed. I even though now I guess as an adult I can see it's a bit misogynistic, but I love with Wesley walking effortlessly through the fire swamp while helping her just move her and get away from the fire and all that stuff. Just to me, classic. What else? The duel. I don't know if we want to talk about that, but just the duel between the two guys. I'm sure everyone read the trivia that it was described as the greatest sword fight in history, and so they really, I forget who it was. They got the guys who trained Errol Flynn or something like that, and
Right.
they trained for months. But even if you forget the actual duel, just their interaction and their banter before and during the it was just,
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never seen something like that again. It's perfect.
And I remember cracking up when Carrie Elwes said he was also not left-handed. Just great.
Yes. And just the whole you see me distant fellow, I hate to kill you. You see me distant fellow, I
Yeah.
hate to die. I mean,
Yeah,
you don't,
yeah,
you don't
yeah.
have writing like that, So
Yeah.
the last thing I'll say is that Danielle hates watching the movie with me because I tend to I know the word, I know it word for word, so I'll start doing the lines. She's like, shut up.
Yeah.
But no, just this this is for me, this and Star Wars, it complete remote droppers. I've seen them, like I said, 100 times, and I'll watch it in 100 more.
That's great. And
Yeah.
you even went to see it in the movie theater.
Saw it in the theater in '87, and then again in 2017 on its 30-year anniversary. I think it was released for like 1 or 2 days only.
What was there
On
something
Fantasy?
when you went to the 30th anniversary? Was there something sticks in your mind on how the audience reacted to something? Because I know when I went to see Grease, it was funny to
No.
hear it with the audience after all that time.
No, I just think that they added in like 2 minutes. I could be wrong. In my head, they added in like 2 or 3 minute intro by Rob Reiner, just talking about it.
They tend to do, if it was a Fathom Events thing, they tend to do things like that before the movie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was.
fun.
Yeah.
All
One
right,
of my,
well-
Whoa.
Annie,
Mine
go
is
ahead.
not important.
How about
Annie,
that?
you go.
Annie, you had-
I thought one of the funniest is with the blind, and then like when he said, "I trained for years and to get immune to it or whatever," that cracked me up. That was like, I was like, how did he know which one? But
Yeah,
I thought
Yeah.
that was so funny.
yeah, that's the ridiculousness.
Yes.
that was great.
Buttercup, what was your
Uh,
stupid one?
Mark had said how well done some things were, and I thought another thing that was so well done was when she was about to be attacked by the giant eels. All of a sudden, we cut to the bedroom again, and they're talking, and then he goes back. He's like, we already saw this part," and then he said something, and I think it was Wallace Shawn who mouthed it along with Peter
Yeah.
Falk's voice. So well done.
Yes.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Agreed.
Rob Reiner is an underrated director,
I don't
but
think he's underrated,
but
is
he's
he?
made some horrible movies too.
Well,
Okay, The Princess Bride is available on Disney Plus if you subscribe to that streaming service, or Mark has all the versions and Joel has the laser disc. So if you want to go watch
Yeah,
it.
I have the versions Mark doesn't have, the laser disc.
Yeah.
And it was on IFC, I think, today. Like that.
Okay.
Oh, fun.
funny.
Everybody
Um,
remember when IFC actually stood for the Independent Film Channel and actually
Yeah.
did independent films?
Yeah.
Are you saying now they show films that are not independent, or they're not showing films?
When Batman shows up on the Independent Film Channel, all bets are off. So
But they're still showing films?
yeah,
Well, at least that's good. And
it's,
MTV
yeah, I know it's
doesn't
not
play
like
any
MTV.
music. Doesn't play any music now, so
Oh, that reminds me, the music too. I could listen to that music
Yeah.
all day long.
next week we're doing one of Amy's selections, the original Nutty Professor from 1963. It's available through Hoopla. If you it's actually a streaming service offered by libraries, interestingly enough. So you know how I always advocate going to your library. Advocate.
Advocate.
I'm an advocate for library borrowing.
He's an advocate for
Um,
the advocate.
But here you can borrow it online. Okay, I'm Frank Gaffney. Watch a movie. Definitely this one. Watch it
As you wish.
as you wish. Happy Rosh Hashanah.
L'chaim.
And also with you.